Tonight, an extraordinary twist in the case of the Starbucks manager fired for physically and verbally assaulting two customers at a Southampton branch. You'll remember Luna Spain was sacked by the coffee company after an incident went viral where the 28-year-old trans woman confronted two customers after claiming they had accidentally misgendered another trans worker after complaining about being unable to pay by cash. The shocking video of the incident went viral around the world as yet another example of violence coming to the extreme gender movement. So this is a reminder of what went down.
You didn't stop being transphobic.
You're rude. Absolutely not. Don't ever call me transphobic. Ever. You do not know me.
You're being transphobic, Karen. Now get out.
Do not call me transphobic.
You are transphobic. Now get out.
I want a refund.
You're not having one. Go to the police. Hi, get out.
Absolutely.
You are trespassing now.
They've got cameras.
You are trespassing.
They've
Get
got
out.
cameras.
Get out. You are trespassing.
Apparently, Wu said something transphobic.
You actually, you
Now, that's an obvious assault, in my opinion, which the police say they are now investigating. Spain kicked off after the female customer you heard there, Vanessa Thomas, who insisted strongly at the time, by the way, you probably heard it, that she's not transphobic, addressed a second trans worker who is a biological female as a lady, when Spain says the person identifies as a trans man. Now, the Mail Online reported Spain as a hard-left trans activist whose neighbours are terrified of offending by mistakenly saying the wrong thing. It was Vanessa's partner, Mark Andrews, who was doing the filming of that incident. They both appeared on this show earlier in the week to explain exactly what happened.
With cash, and they obviously said that they don't take cash anymore, and we just exchanged that. Not a good society that doesn't take cash anymore.
Of course.
But we paid with a card. She stepped in and said, have you got a mobile phone? And I said, yes. And she said, well, they know where you are then, quite aggressively already. And I said, but they don't know what I spend. I just proceeded to get my coffee and she just kept on. I wasn't even sure what she was talking about, but she just kept on at me. And I just put my hand up and said, I actually was not speaking to you, I was speaking to the lady that served me. And then she just erupted.
She came out and just, went to grab the camera off me and then just embraced me and pushed me against the wall. Luna then went back into the store and physically picked Vanessa up and carried her out to the front door and launched her out through the front door of the shop and then slammed the door and broke the door.
But now Spain has gone to the hard left and, incidentally, now bankrupt news outlet Vice to claim they are the victim. Spain has also made a counter-complaint to Hampshire police about a hate crime, demanding an apology from Starbucks, and is also threatening legal action against Vanessa and Mark. So this is what Spain told Vice. I'm the victim of a transphobic hate crime, but I'm being treated like a criminal. If that's the case, why did Spain take so long to tell the police that a hate crime had taken place? My team have actually done some digging on this, and we can exclusively reveal it took Spain 11 whole days after the altercation to make a counter-complaint, and that in itself came 2 days after GB News and latterly the Mail Online first reported on the original video. So it appears like a reactionary response. Spain said Vanessa was, quote, rude and abusive and used transphobic slurs despite providing no evidence of this. But in an exclusive statement tonight, Vanessa has told us, I am shocked about this. I absolutely never and would never call anyone a tranny. That's disgusting. I am very upset by all of this and I'm waiting to see if the police have the footage. This statement is completely false. When asked by Vice why she appeared to attack Mark, Spain added, I wanted the video to be deleted. When I didn't get it, I grabbed the other customer by the bag and escorted her out of the store, then immediately closed the door, which unfortunately cracked the glass. Right, so just an unfortunate glass door smashing there, nothing to see here. Cops told us tonight that they're still investigating both complaints and that no arrests have been made. But Starbucks says it sacked Spain after carrying out a, quote, full investigation and concluding the behaviour was not acceptable. So what's happened here is that Vice has decided it's OK to smear two perfectly respectable citizens, a carer and a builder. I met them earlier in the week, lovely people, simply because they used pronouns connected to a biological reality that we've all accepted for centuries. To me, this is more evidence of the dark, antisocial, anti-science path that gender extremists are leading us down. But to respond now, my superstar panel, columnist and media personality, Carol McGiffin, the businessman and activist Adam Brooks, and the former Labour Party advisor Matthew Laza. And McGiff, this story is very important to me, not simply because of the attack that took place in a Southampton cafe, but the fact that the left-wing media believe it's actually an offence to use pronouns connected to someone's biological sex.
Yeah, of course. According to them, it is. I mean, it's dangerous, isn't it? I mean, I'm sitting here now thinking, I don't know where to start. You know, what do you say? You know, I want to talk about the Spain. I'll just call her Ms. Spain. But that's probably wrong as well. You know, I'm with you on the fact that she or he... sorry, you see, it's so easy to get it confused. The attack on the guy who was filming it was so violent and so aggressive. It was kind of... it was uncomfortable to watch, more than uncomfortable, actually. And the attack that she was making on... Oh, God, it's just too difficult.
I'll clear it up for you.
I can't do it. But the attack that was made on the customer as well by saying, you're transphobic, you're Karen, and she was clapping in her face like that, was aggressive as well. And now to come out that much later and say that they were the victim of a transphobic hate crime is... I mean, it's just rich, isn't it? And it is causing this terrible sort of fear, this culture of fear for people like me, even you.
I'm not scared to say what I think.
No, you're not. I know you're not, but I'm not scared. It's just that, you know... we
don't want to be perceived wrong.
We're getting into a place where you do have to be careful what you say because you get this pile-on by the left-wing media and the activists.
I mean, the thing is, Adam, I spoke to Vanessa a lot about this, and Vanessa is a really tolerant woman. She said, Dan, I've got lots of gay friends. I totally support that community. But I looked at this person behind the counter who looked to me like a lesbian woman, and so I called her a lady. That's all she did.
I refuse to bow down to this. They're demanding to be called things that they're not. At the end of the day, this Luna Spain is not a woman. She identifies as a woman, but that doesn't mean that I've got to bow down and call her a woman. I refuse. It's a he. He was born a man. At the end of the day, it's typical bully behaviour. You know, go and be aggressive, go and do something, and then when it doesn't work out, play the victim. Again, we could say that about many on the left as well. It's typical bully behaviour. And to not report this hate crime till 11 days after, it just proves that's utter nonsense. And I believe the couple, and I watched your interview, and they did seem like nice people. And again, if one of my staff acted like that to a customer, they'd be sacked straight away.
Well, that's the thing, Matthew Laza. Look, I do appreciate there's a police investigation going on. No one's been arrested yet. We don't know where the police will fall on this. But Starbucks investigated. And remember, Starbucks is quite a woke company. And they decided that this Luna Spain needed to be immediately terminated.
Yeah, I don't think Starbucks would do that lightly. As you say, Starbucks is committed to our equality and diversity, to put it more politely. So, I mean, it's a horrible incident. And I think the whole problem with the debate is it should be about condemning a little less and understanding a little more all the way around. I think that, you know, if we get to the stage where people, you know, don't think that are worried about saying the right thing, they're just going to retreat. It just makes the whole thing
But they're making
awkward.
Demands, Matthew. And no disrespect, I won't be told what to do.
Well, absolutely, and that's why I think there needs to be a fair and frank debate. And I think that if we're getting to the stage where somebody is shouted at because they have failed to identify somebody as non-binary, which in no circumstances is plain and obvious by its very nature, it's just getting daft. And I think this is like, you know, we've seen such a revolution in gay rights over the last 20, 25 years. From when I first, you know, when I was coming out as a 16 or 17-year-old, it's a completely different world. And you know, people would be uncomfortable, would worry about what to say. Then now everybody accepts lesbian and gay rights as a normal part of society. So I think that, we need a debate where it isn't about doing the wrong thing, it's about understanding
let's
people.
not also conflate gay rights and lesbian rights to this trans movement and agenda at the moment, because this is very sinister, what's going on at the moment in certain aspects. And these demands that people have got to call them certain things and they have to be addressed a certain way is wrong.
I agree. I don't think we should be policed.
Vanessa, the customer, has actually said that she's very stressed by all this. And it's kind of, this is how easily it can happen.
Indeed.
You can just make the accusation and then, she is the one that's suffering now.
And I think I just also do have to say, gay folk never asked people to change biological reality, to change the English language. We just asked to be accepted for who we
And I would just like gay people and people that want to be different to be happy.
Exactly.
Do not demand other people to do things.